These are not dead bodies. This is not a crime scene. These are businessmen passed out on the streets of Tokyo after a long day at the office. These photos were taken by documentary filmmaker Allegra Pacheco, who visited Japan for the first time in 2012 and was shocked to discover that this scene was not uncommon.
I thought it would be really interesting to just circle it. You circle things to raise awareness or to highlight something, right? To remember something.
Pacheco wanted to know how someone can start their day at the office and end up sleeping in the street. So she followed these salarymen from when they left their jobs to the moment they passed out. What she found was that this was just a symptom of a much bigger problem in Japan, a culture of extreme overwork, oftentimes to the point of complete exhaustion and even death. Pacheco is far from the first person to point out the extreme and isolating lives of Japanese salarymen and women, or white-collar workers. The concept has been part of the conversation for decades and has appeared again and again in Japanese pop culture. In 2015, this video went viral of a Tokyo-based YouTuber chronicling his typical workday.
11:15, leave work. 12 a.m, arrive home. 12:30, bedtime.
This is, of course, supposed to be silly, but overwork in Japan is no joke. A recent government study found that nearly a quarter of workers logged more than 80 hours of overtime every month, and that 1 in 5 workers are at risk of death by overwork, either by stroke or heart attack or from stress-induced suicide. There's even a word for this in Japanese, karoshi, which literally means overwork death. To find out why this is such a problem in Japan, we spoke to Thomas Loser, who teaches courses on Japanese culture at NYU. He says that widespread overwork really started after World War II, when the country switched its focus from strengthening its military to rebuilding its economy.
The Prime Minister says we're going to have income doubling and 100% employment, and the idea then becomes, instead of the military and emperor is your family, the company is your family. You will do everything you can for your family.
This actually worked in Japan for a while. The country experienced a so-called economic miracle from the 1960s to the 1980s, becoming the world's second largest economy after the US. But as the economy grew, so did the rate of karoshi.
It really becomes a social problem and a social concept in the 1980s, right at the moment of pure success. People were really starting to question what success meant. We are at the forefront of the future, at the forefront of a certain kind of global capitalism, etc., but it's leading to lives that make us kill ourselves even when we don't want to.